I don't know that I would call this meditation a spiritual experience so much as a peaceful one. I'm not pursuing a spiritual outcome as a result of this meditation. I'm pursuing more gentleness and more stability inside myself. When I was taught to meditate at 13, I was taught to follow my breath. And in the decades since then, I've tried a lot of different types of meditation. I've tried Tibetan Buddhist meditation, I've tried watching a candle flame, I've tried box breathing, I've tried a bunch of different things. What generally works for me is to sit and to follow my breath. And when my mind starts wandering, as it always does, is to bring it back to my breath again and again and again. The rules that I set for myself for this 30 days are very straightforward. It has to be a consecutive hour. I can do any kind of meditation I want. That's kind of it. It's 11 o'clock at night. It's my bedtime. But I decided this afternoon that I was starting today. Here we go. Well, I did it. That was an hour. It was really pleasant up until the last 15 minutes when I just got itchy to move. I'll share some more reflections in the morning. All right, I meditated for a full hour last night, which is far and away the most I've ever done. The last 15 minutes were itchy. I wanted to get up, I wanted to move around. It's a little bit earlier tonight. 2 consecutive days. I just sat for an hour. It says so, right here. I can tell that I'm approaching the 15-minute mark now because I start to feel the need to move. I was taught resist that and don't move. And I know my body a lot better now. This body is designed to move. Not sure what to do about that. Ready for bed. All right, had a day. I'm exhausted. The last thing I want to do right now is sit with my own thoughts for an hour. End of meditation on day 3. Definitely tired, but it makes a big difference. Even if I'm not very good at following my breath today and I'm following my thoughts and the monkey mind instead. I know, I need to talk a little bit more about meditating and why I meditate. I was introduced to meditation by a camp counselor when I was 13. We were on a 4 or 5 day backpacking trip in the Trinity Alps. The night before he said, I'm going to meditate in the morning. And I said, what's that? And he said, get up with me at 5:30 and I'll tell you. So I did. And he taught me to just follow my breath. 4 consecutive days. It's so weird to hear sound after an hour of silence and to hear my own voice. It's definitely bedtime now. It is 8 o'clock p.m. on day 5 of meditating, and I am procrastinating with a movie and anything that I can do to not go and sit by myself with my thoughts for an hour. Please. Thank you very much. The hardest part about this hour of meditating a day challenge is carving out an hour from my day. My life is very busy, my schedule is very packed, and carving out that hour means that I have to be pretty deliberate. I haven't yet meditated today. I have to do it tonight before I go to bed. I'd like to go to bed before 11 o'clock at night. When am I gonna fit that in? Always the stressors that come up when I'm meditating are about the things that I need to do in the future or the things that I forgot to do that I have to take care of tomorrow. I don't know if I was aware of how much time and energy I spend on the things that I still need to do today. All right, I'm doing better. It's noon. I got up late today. I'm shivering because I just took a cold plunge, and I'm gonna sit for an hour at noon, which is a weird time. All right, it's 11 o'clock. I'm gonna be sitting for an hour. Ready, set, go. It is dusk. It's been a really stressful last year. I've talked publicly about my best friend Michelle's cancer. I also have 2 other very dear people in my life who have very recent cancer diagnoses. Last year at Zander Media 2022, we did more in gross revenue than we ever have before. And along with that growth came a lot of challenges. Leadership is hard. I had a really stressful time. When I hear about the most successful CEOs, they seem pretty even-keeled. I have not historically been even-keeled. I have high highs and low lows, higher than most and I think lower than most. I definitely have a lot of fluctuations, a lot of ups and downs. So that's part of the reason why meditating is I'm looking for more tools that I can use to provide stability in my life and more ease. Okay, that was 40 minutes on top of the 20 that I did this morning. It is way harder to meditate in now 140 degrees versus in room temperature. But This is incredible because I can kill two birds with one stone. I can meditate and sit in the sauna because I don't have that much time. It is midnight. I got home at 11 o'clock. Tomorrow, I have dinner plans in San Francisco, but I think I will meditate before bedtime tomorrow instead of in the morning. It is Saturday night at about 10:30, and I'm just sitting down for an hour. It's cozy. I even have candles on the mantle. I should have meditated at 4, 5, or 6 this afternoon, and I didn't. It's better than last night. I went to bed at 12:30 last night. It is Monday night, and I'm sitting down at about 9:45 for an hour. The last 5 or 7 days of meditating an hour a day have been really tough. The biggest challenge was carving out the time before 11 o'clock at night and not getting enough sleep. I don't know, it feels like there's a resistance to sitting quietly with my thoughts. Like there's so much else that I want to do. One of the rules that I set for myself was meditate for a full consecutive hour. Twice now I've had to break that rule. I'm no longer distracting myself with work focuses so much as pursuing pleasure. That's really interesting. I've definitely been happier in the last week. Something that I've added in my mindfulness practice this month has been kind of holding a problem loosely in my mind for a few minutes or a few hours before I sit down. Sitting down with that in mind and then letting go of this challenge. So a fight that I got into with a family member, or some new understanding of my physical practice, or a certain way that I want to show up at work tomorrow, and then letting it go and sitting and meditating for an hour. And then just noticing where I am with that challenge afterwards. Okay, my first meditation teacher said, imagine that your thumbs are touching with the delicacy that they could hold a butterfly's wing. That's hard to do and it's hard to maintain. I think it's gotten harder this last week. I'm not sure why. I've been very tired. I've been stressed about work. I want it to be a peaceful, quiet space, but it's not. I don't know if that's just a factor of where I've been or what, but it's got to change. It is day, I believe, 18 of meditating an hour a day. Had an extremely busy week. Friend came over and I took their dog for a long run right at sunset, and then I came home, had dinner, procrastinated on sitting and meditating for many hours, and now it's 10:30 and I'm supposed to sit down and meditate, and I really don't want to. I just want to go to bed. All right, we are day 22. Still haven't really solved this timing issue. Yeah, the last 5, 7 days have been pretty hard in that regard. I did not sit and follow my breath for an hour today. And if I do so, then I'm gonna be up until midnight, which doesn't work. So I think we call this a don't meditate for 60 minutes today. It sucks. Feels a little bit like a fail. This is so funny. I've already done 50 minutes today in small chunks because I'm just giving up on always hitting in full hour in a single sit. I did 10 minutes and it wasn't nearly enough, and I want another 10. I'm excited to go to sleep, but I'm also really excited to sit and meditate for a few more minutes. All right, I am here in Puerto Rico. I'm here for about a week. I did not do 60 minutes consecutive meditation every single night for 30 days. I fell off at about day 25, and it kills me to admit that, but I definitely did not complete the last 4 or 5 days. I never really did crack the code on reorganizing my schedule. The real reason that I didn't complete it is I made the task too big. So at no point in the beginning of the meditation or partway through did I sit down and say, here are the things I'm gonna give up in my life in order to make this happen. Here are the trade-offs I'm willing to make. The point when it broke was last Friday. I had a date and I had a later night than I was expecting, and I just didn't even think to meditate and realized I had just completely spaced it that day. Glad I did it. I had an incredible time. I learned a ton. It's fun to share some of these reflections. When I do it again, I'll do it less strictly. I'll do it with more play. I'll do it with more freedom. I'll also probably do it with more people. No matter what you're going to learn, go gentle, have fun, because those will make your learning journey stick.